Alright, good evening and welcome to the first episode of Cooking with Jan. We're going to be making spaghetti and pancetta tonight, which is great. So, step one is to... can you turn this around? Boil the water. So you want to use a big fat pot. We're actually going to be making this for 22 people, so it's going to be a lot of pasta. Definitely put a lot of water. Be generous with the salt. You really just want to make this kind of like seawater. You know? So don't be afraid to try it and get a real good taste of that. And then really bring it to full boil. And in the meanwhile, we'll be getting on some other shit. Woo! Yep, tastes like seawater. Alright, so next we're gonna chop some onions. You're gonna make me cry. I like to use a big fat knife for this, because I'm not big or fat. Peel them, and just chop, 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 chop. And just cut yourself, kids. Holy shit, this has actually made me cry. This is Paul. What's up?
Hello.
So once you've done your onions, you want to have little rings like this. You start, chopping some peppers. If we actually fucking had any, we don't.
Hang on.
So I'm gonna start doing some garlic. Just dice that shit with a big fat knife.
It's still going, right?
Yeah, it's still good.
Okay, so I'm gonna remove this because we had a little catastrophe here.
If you look, Jake was taking out the bucket of water for cleaning it, and he just dumped it all over the ground. So now we have a huge puddle in the kitchen. So that's a quick status update on the kitchen. Hopefully Jan will be able to keep cooking. But that just happened.
What do you think we should do?
Alright, for the garlic, I actually have a neat little trick for you here today. So observe closely. You're going to take 2 bowls, should be symmetrical. Put your garlic inside. And shaka 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 shaka. That didn't work. So it turns out we don't actually have any peppers because some asshole ate them. But it's alright. We'll just go ahead and slice the pancetta. Now, this is the kind of stuff you're going to be looking for. But of course, corporate America can't deliver that kind of meat quality. So we're going to use this here, which is all diced shit. But we'll still go and slice a few pieces of this quality. Okay, so the important thing when using a meat slicer is to keep your fingers out of the blade. It's preferable. Should also try to put a plate in underneath. I mean, that goes without saying, right? So because we're a frat house, we don't ever use the right utensils for the right job, because that's uncool. Okay, so you can definitely make nice thin slices like this. See, I mean, really the point of the pancetta is just to kind of add some nice herby, meaty taste to the...
Do you not taste that?
Yeah. Nah, well, yeah, it's alright. Okay, the time has come. For what, sir? To make the sauce, you idiots. So, how are we going to do that? We're going to take crushed tomatoes. It's a fat barrel of crushed tomatoes, and then we're going to put in some tomato sauce. Now, crushed tomatoes are quite thin. Tomato sauce pretty thick. So, I'm gonna mix them 50-50, 50-50. It's gonna be great. Okay, so I'm using a Swiss Army knife, because, who owns a can opener, right? If you haven't noticed, I'm from Switzerland, the land of the Swiss. Best country in the world, I'm telling you that. Alright, now once you're done with that, time to pour. What's up, Marco?
What are you feeling? Ready for cleaning assignment?
Yeah, sounds good. Whee! All of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. Alright, so once you've got all your sauce in your pot, you just put that on a low simmer, just leave it to chill, let it heat slowly, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Meanwhile, we can start frying the pancetta. This is gonna give some great taste to the sauce later on, and we're gonna add the diced ones as well. Okay, that was my mistake. You definitely want to start by cooking the diced pancetta first, because the thinly sliced one cooks so fast. So we're gonna do just that. So all of it, all of it, all of it. Woo, it's just for you, Trey. So you definitely want to make sure you give this a nice, good stir while you're cooking it. It's alright cooking the pork fried rice, but without the fried rice. Make sure you give this a good little stir every once in a while. Alright, that's looking pretty good now, so I think we're ready to transfer that into the sauce. Now look at all that grease. Holy cow. Okay, so you'll notice that we have another batch of pancetta dices going. In the meanwhile, we're just going to take these little pieces that we cut earlier on the meat slicer, and we're just going to throw them in raw. Give a nice little touch of taste. Now, as you transfer the second batch of pancetta, make sure you keep some of the grease, because we're going to use that to cook our onions and all of this stuff in a bit. Keep posted. Alright, so we've dumped all our onions into the pancetta grease, and we're just going to let them chill there for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, get nice and brown, and then that's also going to go in there. Alright, so when they're almost done, we're just going to add a little bit of sugar to the onions. It's going to make them nice and sweet and great. Right?
That's right.
Oh my god. Wow, did you add anything to that sauce?
Yeah, dude, pancetta.
Pancetta.
Alright, it's pasta time. Woo! Now it says on the package it's 6 to 8 people for 1 pound of pasta. You know, we're a bunch of young, sporty men, so we're gonna err on the safe side of safety. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna err on the side of safety. Go for 5 packages. That would be 25 people. We're 22, so destroy that shit. Okay, so we've got the pasta in the pots. We've got the timer started, and we're good to go. Now, if you think cooking pasta is just a matter of throwing some pasta into hot water and waiting 10 minutes, wrong, alright? So here's the deal. You want a full-on rampant boil.
Smell this.
Get the fuck away from me.
No, smell it.
You want a full-on rampant boil in your pot. Look at this, alright? None of this pussy shit. Then, it says on the packaging, 10 to 11 minutes. That means we're going to stop at 8 minutes and check it out. We want to get this stuff to be al dente. We have a very small window to get it just right, so we're going to get it just right.
Let's give it a taste test right now.
The other thing is, should be stirring all the time. Isn't that right, Sam? All the time. I don't want you checking Facebook, no Twitter, no
Right.
bullshit.
Pull
It's
one
going to
out.
be stirring.
We'll try it.
You want to try it? Ah, shit. Get a fork.
Not done yet.
No? Okay, they're done. Let's go. Thing's hot. Alright, we got a strainer already in the sink. We're gonna slowly pour out all this water. Try not to mess. Alright, so we're gonna take all the pasta, put it back in the bowl. What the
Of course.
Woo! And there she goes.
Throwing some butter.
Now we're gonna throw in some butter too.
Got some butter. Throwing it in. There she goes.
Alright, so Sam's stirring it up all nice and good. In the meanwhile, we're gonna take these here, the onions, and we're also gonna throw them into the pasta. I changed my mind. We're not gonna throw them into the sauce, because that would suck, because we added sugar, which is great. So we're just gonna add them to the pasta. That's gonna be lovely. Alright, so I think it's ready. We've got the gorgeous sauce right here, chilling hot. And then we've got the pasta all ready with utensils. It's great. So, Phi Alpha to the brothers and fuck you to everyone else. Have a good night.